Hi there! Poco is back with their very popular X series, the Poco X4 5G. Now this comes with a Snapdragon 695 chipset, expandable RAM, 64 megapixel primary camera, 120Hz Full HD AMOLED display and a 67 watt fast charger included in the box. Wow, that's definitely exciting. So without further ado, let's quickly unbox it and unleash the beast. So here is the retail packaging of the Poco X4 Pro 5G. Wow. Towards the back, you can see some of its key specifications: 120Hz Super AMOLED display, dual 5G Snapdragon 695 chipset, 64 megapixel AI triple camera, 64 watt turbo charging with 5000 watt battery. Some more details: it's made in India. This is laser black color with 8 GB RAM and 128 GB internal storage. Alright, let's quickly open it up. Okay, you have a SIM ejector pin. You have a quick start guide and a transparent TPU cover. Wow, that's a big cutout. The quality of the TPU case is also really good. Then you have the phone itself. We'll have a look at it in just a moment. Then you have a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. This comes with the orange accent. Then you have a 67 watt brick charger included in the packaging. Amazing. So the phone comes with a 6.67 inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels. It supports a refresh rate of 120Hz, which really provides very smooth animations. It just flows like breeze, especially when you're scrolling on your favorite social media apps. Now something to remember, when you keep the refresh rate at 120Hz, it will impact your battery life. But in my experience, it wasn't that drastic. But if battery life is your priority, then I suggest you switch it to 60Hz from the display settings. Then there's a 16 megapixel dot punch hole camera right in the center with the f2.45 aperture. The color reproduction of the display is very impressive. It's vibrant and punchy as you expect from an AMOLED panel. You can further tune it as per your preference in the display settings, from vivid to saturated or standard. It has a peak brightness of 1200 nits, and we did use the phone briefly outdoors under direct sunlight and it was actually very clear. Definitely more than you need. Watching your favorite movies on this phone is an amazing experience. The big screen with AMOLED's vivid colors make it a much more enjoyable experience. What adds more to it is the dual stereo speakers, one at the bottom and one at the top. And they get surprisingly loud, retaining the clarity. Vocals are very clear, so most people won't be even needing earphones while listening to podcasts or watching movies. So when it comes to media consumption, this phone is a complete package. It's got a very good AMOLED display with excellent audio experience. Now, talking about the design, and we'll start with the back. Well, firstly, the laser black color looks absolutely gorgeous. Check out how the light reflects, creating this amazing effect. It's made of glass, which provides a very premium feel. The only drawback is that it's a fingerprint magnet, lots of smudges and fingerprints. So if you're finicky, I suggest you use the provided TPU cover. Then there's a flat side design which makes it a lot easier to hold in the hand. Matte finish, and it looks really nice. The camera module on the back is huge. Kind of reminds me of the Mi 11 Ultra. So we get a triple camera setup. There's a 64 megapixel Samsung sensor, 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro. On the right are the volume rockers and the power button that also doubles as a fingerprint scanner. We tested it and it was super snappy and very quick to unlock. On the top is a 3.5mm headphone jack, a speaker, noise cancelling microphone and an IR blaster, which works with the Mi Remote app to control tons of IR devices like TVs and air conditioners. At the bottom is a second speaker, a microphone, USB-C port and a hybrid SIM tray that can house 2 nano SIM cards or 1 nano SIM plus an SD card. The Poco X4 Pro 5G supports 7 5G bands that should get you covered for the 5G network in the near future. Then the Snapdragon 695 performed better than expected, used it extensively without experiencing any issues. Opening, closing apps and multitasking was super fast. Then there is an option in the settings to increase your RAM by another 3 GB, which kept most recently used apps still in memory, drastically reducing load times. It's running MIUI 13 on Android 11. There you go. It makes the phone OS feel so much more lighter than ever before. It's overall clean, yet packed with lots and lots of features. A dedicated section from where you can download tons of wallpapers, tons of themes, So those who like to customize their phones will surely love it. But if I had to nitpick, we still get a lot of unwanted pre-installed apps. But the saving grace is that we can delete what we don't need. Then we ran some benchmarks starting with Antutu and we got about 3,80,000. So I expected the Antutu score to be around 4 lakhs, but still it's quite good. Then we get UFS 2.2 and we checked the disk speed and we got 447 write and 531 read, which is pretty good. And finally the CPU throttle, and this is where we saw it struggle a bit. We got 78% of max performance. Now benchmarks aren't everything. Eventually it's the experience, and frankly the experience has been pretty solid so far. Then we also played BGMI and the gaming experience was rock solid. There were no drop frames, there was no lag even after playing for about half an hour. The graphics settings however maxed out at smooth and ultra, giving us roughly around 40 to 45 FPS. Trust me, for most BGMI players this will be good enough. Coming to the battery, so we get a 5000 mAh battery in the phone that should easily last you a day to a day and a half even with heavy use. The cherry on the cake is a 67 watt fast charger which is included in the box, and that should charge your phone from 0 to 100% in about 40 to 42 minutes. So I can easily say that the Poco X4 Pro 5G is solid in the battery department. Alright, let's see the camera. So the 50 megapixel Samsung sensor is a surprise package. The detail in which it would capture the images was really commendable. The dynamic range and shadows was spot on. The images look straight out of a premium flagship device. Here are some more. Then here are some pictures taken from the ultra wide, and these two are quite good, but we lose out on a little dynamic range and detail. However, it still does much better than most phones in this segment. Here are 2 megapixel macro shots. Well, they are decent, I'd say. But the moment you zoom in, the image is almost unusable. So just have fun with them. Here are some images taken from the front camera, and these look really good. Bright, clear and perfect skin tones. Here are some portrait shots, bokeh with good edge detection. But here the whites get blown up at times, and that's because no HDR support while taking portrait selfies. Here is a quick video shot from the selfie camera. I think it's quite good and does a decent job. Here is full HD video shot handheld using the rear camera. Clear and quite stable too. So the video recording maxes out at full HD 30 FPS. There's no 60 FPS full HD recording and neither is the 4K video recording support. Now I really wish we had at least 60 FPS full HD, and I'm saying that because the cameras on the Poco X4 Pro overall are very good but lack this much needed video recording feature. Alright, so the Poco X4 Pro 5G seems like a pretty well-rounded device and takes most of the things we look for in a premium smartphone. It's got a really good camera, it's got a 120Hz AMOLED display, it's got solid performance, but we don't have the price at the time of making this video. But I'm assuming it should be somewhere around the 20k segment because we've seen Poco usually price their phones very aggressively. You'll find the price, availability details and the purchase links below in the description. If you like to buy one, you should definitely check it out. So I hope this video was helpful. If there are any questions, put them down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them all. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, cheers.